Welcome to today's episode of Kitchen Chemistry, Adult Eats and Treats. Today's episode features 3 recipes: hamburgers with dried herbs, quick microwave corn on the cob, and roasted Roma tomatoes. My name is Julia Ratledge, and I work at the Roswell Library. I love making hamburgers and adding different herbs to them. The best thing about today's recipe is that these burgers cook quickly. That's because they're so thin. Enjoy. Here are the ingredients: 1.5 to 2 pounds of lean ground beef, turkey, or chicken, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, 2 tablespoons of dried minced onion, 2 tablespoons of dried chopped parsley, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil, divided, 2 tablespoons of ketchup, optional, 3/4 cup of panko breadcrumbs, optional, and 1 slice of cheese per hamburger, also optional. Let's get started. Place the meat and all of the ingredients, except for 1/2 tablespoon of olive oil, into a large mixing bowl. Use a fork to mix and combine. Shape the hamburgers into medium-sized balls, about the size of a golf ball. Press each ball so that the hamburgers become very thin. You can use the palm of your hand to smash it down really good. It's okay to let the shape change a little. Each hamburger doesn't have to be perfectly round. In fact, it's tastier if each hamburger has edges that will brown quickly because it will add to the flavor. Before you start cooking the burgers, here's a cooking tip. Hot pan plus cold oil means your food won't stick. Next, on high heat, add 1/2 tablespoon of olive oil to the pan and then place each hamburger on the pan and let it sear. That just means to let it brown quickly. Use a spatula to press down on the burger to make sure it spreads out a little bit. After 3 or 4 minutes, flip the burger and sear the other side for another 3 or 4 minutes. Lower the heat and let it simmer for 5 more minutes until the juices run clear, or less time if you like your burgers rare. Just before they are done, place cheese, if desired, on top of each burger and let it melt. Serve and enjoy.
Welcome to Fulton County Library System. This is Kitchen Chemistry. Today we're going to make roasted tomatoes. What you need to make roasted tomatoes are Roma tomatoes, extra virgin olive oil, fresh ground pepper, sea salt. I like to use this loose kind, gives me a little more control over it than a shaker, and optionally fresh rosemary. I just pulled this rosemary from my garden and figured seems like a good place to use it. So let's get started. Prepping the tomatoes for roasting is easy. The first thing we will do is remove the stem end and discard it, and then slice the tomato in half. Using a spoon or some other small object, remove the seeds from the tomato. Do this with each of your tomato halves. And there we have 2 tomato halves that are seeded and ready for roasting. After you've seeded and cleaned all of your tomato halves, it's time to put the good stuff on them before we put them in the oven. Hit them with a generous bit of extra virgin olive oil, a nice grind of black pepper. I like to use the largest grind setting personally. A nice hit of sea salt, and then just stir it all up. Make sure everything's coated evenly. If you need, add a little more olive oil. Then we're going to transfer them to a baking dish. Look at that great olive oil and salt and pepper in there. Let's just get some more of that in there. We've already coated the baking dish with olive oil too. It's very important that these don't stick. I like to bake them open side up so that they hold some of that olive oil and salt and pepper in there while they're cooking. Aren't these looking good? Now we're going to transfer them to a 400-degree oven. We'll bake them for approximately 30 minutes. But again, this is the kind of dish that you want to cook using your nose. Once they start smelling really good, they're probably ready. I almost forgot. The very last step is that we're going to throw these beautiful sprigs of rosemary from our garden. Just set them on top. We're not going to eat them, so it doesn't really matter that they're not broken down. We're just going to put them in there, and they're going to give a little bit of extra flavor to those beautiful Romas. Doesn't this look great already? It's not even cooked. 30 minutes later, here we are. We've completed our roasted Roma tomatoes. All that's left to do is to remove those little bits of rosemary and enjoy. Thank you for joining us on the Fulton County Library System Kitchen Chemistry. Like, share, and create watch parties. Have a great day.